Hello, thank you for joining us. This is Platform. I'm Ruth Aguilera. Micro, small and medium enterprises are said to be the backbone of the nation's economy. And according to reports, MSMEs contributes about 46.3% thereabout to the nation's gross domestic product and employing about 87.9% of the workforce. Therefore, building a prosperous, sustainable and equitable economy will require consistent support to MSMEs, and the federal government has consistently demonstrated commitment to its economic reform agenda for MSMEs. Now, the expanded National MSMEs Clinics initiative is a core pillar of the present administration's renewed hope agenda to unlock Nigeria's small business potential. An approach that goes beyond support to embedding small businesses at the core of national resilience and inclusive growth. It was first launched in 2017, if you recall, by the past administration and expanded in 2024 by the present administration. The MSMEs clinics serve as a bridge between the federal government, state government, and small businesses in each state. The clinics bring federal agencies closer to entrepreneurs, easing business registration, offering on-the-spot support, and removing bottlenecks. Now, the MSME clinic model has evolved into a nationwide ecosystem that makes government support accessible, transparent, and practical for everyday entrepreneurs. So, on Platform, we will be extracting federal government's interventions for MSMEs across the country. And our guest is Mr. Temitola Adekunle Johnson. He's a special advisor to the president on job creation and MSMEs. Thank you so much for joining us, Mr. Johnson.
Thank you very much for having me. Compliments of the season.
Wish you the same. Mr. Temitola Adekunle Johnson, you know we have to read out his profile for you, which is what we do on the program. He coordinates the expanded National MSME Clinics, an initiative of the federal government designed to support MSME growth across the country. Initiatives under the MSME Clinics auspices that Mr. Adekunle Johnson coordinates include the National MSME Awards, the Shared Facility Project, and the One-Stop Shop Initiative, among others. In 2017, Mr. Adekunle Johnson started the MSME Clinics, and by the end of 2022, about 33 editions of the clinics were held in major cities across the country, directly empowering several thousands individuals and production hubs across the country, which were set up, partnering other initiatives that have become household names in the small business firmament in Nigeria. Well done.
Thank you very much.
And coincidentally, you're now with the government and you're expanding the whole clinic. Fantastic. Okay, so our business correspondent, one of our business correspondents, is on the panel today, Muplank Dakog. Muplank, Happy New Year to you.
Yes, Happy New Year to you, Ruth.
Good to see you.
Good to see you.
Have you
and
had
it's a pleasure being on your program.
Always a pleasure.
Yeah.
Always a pleasure.
Thank you.
So, Mr. Johnson, MSMEs, let's start from the from the bottom before we get to the top. If you look at the drive by the present administration, which you work closely with, there's been a push, consistent push, to upskill the scope for MSMEs in the country. Can you give us, from your assessment in the past year and, going forward on the strategies that will be propelled in this new year for the MSMEs?
Thank you once again. So let me begin with what has been achieved in the past year. Also, so first, the president views MSMEs as boots on ground, BOG, so hence the focus on the MSME clinics, because the MSME clinic, what it aims to do is it goes into a state which, president has mandated the vice president to go around with all the agencies who are responsible for regulating the affairs of SMEs, all those agencies, the heads of those agencies, coming to the states with the vice president under the directive of Mr. President. We go into the states and have this exhibition, interactive sessions with the small businesses in that state in collaboration with the states. And in such exhibitions and discussions, we get to hear firsthand from SMEs in those states what their core issues are. Because it makes us realize that we can't sit in Abuja and assume that every SME has the same issue.
Yeah.
Because the MSME things have made us realize that in some states, access to funding is not even their problem. Some states, they are saying, give us power. If we have regular power, we'll be fine. We have our own communal way of accessing funds amongst ourselves. We found that out in most of the southeastern states. They'll tell you that we have this communal thing that we do where we contribute every month. So every quarter, somebody takes, say, for instance, if they contribute about maybe 1 million naira per month, every quarter, if they are up to 10, somebody takes 10 million naira to do whatever you want to do with your business another quarter. So they've devised a very creative way of giving money to themselves to expand their businesses. So all they are saying is that give us power, because we are not able to, if we spend part of our profits on power, then it defeats the purpose. So what we've done in those instances is that we've created facilities for them with solar that guarantees them at least 8 hours of light on a regular basis. And it's not just limited to the southeastern states and SMEs that we've gone to. We've done that in other states. Now, we've also gone ahead to establish close to 21 facilities now. As at August, it was 18. As we speak now, we're running up on the 21st facility. Now, what they do is that small businesses who do not have the financial capacity to buy industrial equipment, they come into those facilities. Now, we provide the facilities, and in some cases, the states will provide the facility. In some cases, and in most other cases, we provide the facilities and the equipment as well.
Okay.
So, SMEs going to those facilities to use those equipments. These are equipment that are, for instance, 80 million naira equipment, in some cases 100 and something million naira. So we, with our private sector partners, we establish those things. SMEs go in there. Now, we don't just establish. We ask the states to give us 3 key areas where they think SMEs need such support. So some will say fashion, some will say ICT, some will say mechanic city, some will say carpentry. So whatever it is that you have given us, whichever one our partners are able to do very quickly, we establish. So you have SMEs that come in to clock in 9 o'clock in the morning to come and use the facility. They have about 8 hours to use the facility. So if you so we're able to monitor how many people use the facility today, how many people use the facility tomorrow. And if you're a fashion designer and you want to use that facility, maybe you pay a token of 1,000. I bet you, if you go into the market or any other place to use that equipment, you can spend at least 15 times more than that.
Yeah.
So and most importantly, these facilities have created close to 195,000 jobs in the last between February 2024 and now. Close to 195,000 jobs as at counting, because we look at people that use that place permanently for just their production, basically, and we look at sort of what it has done in terms of returns to their businesses as well.
Okay. Okay.
Yes, I follow up on that. So the problem of awareness, I'm thinking, maybe stopping MSMEs from accessing some of these facilities that you talked about. What are you doing for people to, be aware of these facilities? Because many MSMEs will tell you that they don't even know that government is doing anything for them.
Or there's even grant for them.
No, the issue of awareness, I quite agree with you that a few might not know, but we'll make deliberate efforts to ensure that whatever it is that we do, at least in the states, because once these things are established in the states, the VP goes to represent Mr. President in the commissioning of the facilities. The MSMEs in that states, all the different clusters of SMEs are invited to, and are obviously told that these facilities are for you guys to come and use. So we live there hoping that the states will continue with such awareness. But awareness can never be too much. So we can continue to, say for instance, from time to time, remind SMEs that you have these facilities in your different states, and these are the purposes that they serve.
Probably this is a good time to tell us, mention, you may not remember all now, you can just mention some of the states. Maybe people listening might be able to know
that have already keyed into the clinic.
Okay, that's fine. In 2024 February, we launched a remodeled market, Ashoke market in Ogun State.
Okay.
And there were about 100 and something stores that were remodeled. Okay. President Tinubu asked us to give those stores to SMEs for free for 1 year. So we gave them free for 1 year. While the state government, Governor Dapo, said that even the next year he was going to give them at 50% discounts. So we remodeled it from our private sector. In the same Ogun State, we gave them a fashion cluster in that same year. We moved on to Benue State. We have given Benue State a fashion cluster, an ICT hub for Benue State. We have done those two for Benue State. We have also given them a tomato production facility in Benue State as well. Okay. Imo State, we have given them Imo State, we have given them a fashion cluster under President Buhari. Now, in the current government, Imo State has been given a printing hub. They are the first state to have a printing hub and a mechanic city. Now, the mechanic city is quite unique because it gives you a city that everything is automated. So you have where you can wash your car, you can jack your car, do all the works. Everything is sort of automated. In Lagos State, we are currently working on a facility in Ikorodu, which is ready for commissioning. Okay. That should be ready. That should be commissioned sometime in February. We also have another facility on Lagos Island. That is an ICT facility, basically at Isaleko area of Lagos Island. And in Enugu State, we have given them ICT, we have given them fashion in Enugu State, and there are other facilities we have given them. In Jigawa, because Jigawa, they are sort of agrarian in nature, we gave them, we supported a mass farming facility that will ensure that it was automated with solar.
Okay.
So that there's regular lights, and aside from the regular lights, they don't need to water the plants by themselves. So at every point in time, when the grass needs watering, we are putting an automated watering facility there for them. So what that does is that it just ensures that all the farmers in that area needs to do is to come in, check their ground, realize, and just and all they need to do is just ensure that they plant. Every other thing has been sorted out by us, even with standby generator as well, but it's mainly solar. Now, there are so many other states, for instance, that we've launched all these facilities, basically. So, but these are just the states that I've mentioned. I can go ahead and release a paper of the 21 states or the 21 facilities, because in some states, they do not have just one facility. There are some states, you see, what President directed us is that if you see a state that is serious-minded and wants us to support them in this, if you launch a facility and you see that from the feedback you are getting, the state is allowing the SMEs use that facility, they are doing all what they are supposed to do, you can go ahead and give them another facility. Okay. Go ahead and give them. So if you show seriousness, the President has directed us that as long as we have good feedback, that a state government is showing seriousness and wanting us to support more, and the feedback from the MSMEs is that, the facility we dropped, we have assessed it, the government is giving us contracts to go and even use the facility. issue them more.
It's good you know laying out the structural plan, how it works. But I'd like to know for MSMEs, and I also it's good that you're letting us in on the fact that state governments are keen into this initiative, which is commendable. But for the MSMEs now, we know the challenges they've always contended with. Poor marketing strategy, operational cost, and all of that. Is there a room for services in terms of, training, legal training, structural plan, tax management and all of that these facilities also provide beyond just giving them access to build their businesses?
As we speak, this year, by the first quarter, we would engage SMEs across the entire country. We'll select them per local governments to sensitize them on the new FRS tax or the new NRS tax. You see, what a number of SMEs do not know is that there's been a lot of misgivings and a lot of misrepresentation of the intention of those the new tax laws. Now, it is not anti MSMEs. Rather, it tends to support small businesses. So those areas that support small businesses, we're going to be accentuating those areas. We are in discussion with the NRS to do that across the entire country. Because in every state we have a data of close to about 100, close to at least in every state there are a minimum of 10,000 small businesses on the data box that we sort of have and we engage with on a daily basis. And the other areas you mentioned, it is important to know that the clinic has about 26 partners. All agencies, for instance, ITF is there.
In each state?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And all 26 partners go with us in each state. Now, for instance, you have the ITF that underscore training. Anytime we go into the states, ITF SMEDA, they discuss with SMEs, come, we can train your business in XYZ, and you don't need to pay for it. ITF will train you. Sometimes they will even give you kits free of charge. SMEDA will train you, put you on their database. If there's any scheme that they can support you with, they will support you. We have Bank of Industry. Those are the only people that you can get facilities from now between 9 and 11%, basically. So they will come and speak about what they're doing. Do you know? If I can quickly tell you that the Development Bank of Nigeria, DBN, is also a part of the MSME clinic, a critical part of the MSME. They just signed they just got a $500 million loan approval from the World Bank to support operations of the small businesses in expanding their scope. For instance, now that will help them with credit guarantees. It means that more SMEs can collect loans if DBN with their partners are able to guarantee. So the more small businesses they can guarantee, the more small businesses that can access loans. So if, for instance, what this will do, and if properly managed and operated, and we have confidence in them DBN over the years, it's going to open up the floodgates for access to loans very quickly.
If I would just come in there, just for clarification, the expanded MSMEs clinic, does it offer grants or loan? Just for clarification.
Now, SME clinics on its own has certain grants. We don't offer loans. Okay. We are not an agency.
Okay.
So through our partners, we offer grants per clinics. So, and then which the President Tinubu approved a certain amount that can be given per clinics as grants. So we are not an agency. So basically, neither are we a bank. So, but through the partners, we are able to give out grants to those SMEs, especially the outstanding ones. So the grants sometimes can range from 250, which is the
250,000
naira, which is the regular one that Mr. President has approved. The year before it was 150. So he doubled it. He made it 250. He added 100,000 naira last year 2025. So, and sometimes there are some exceptional SMEs that we see. That he says, okay, if you see an SME that is very, very innovative or very, very creative in whatever it is that they're doing, and they need quick support. So we have people that can give them. We've given out 10 million naira before as grants, because right there on the spot there was a business
to an individual business,
to an individual business in Enugu, I recall. Yes, in Enugu, an individual business that the VP saw, and he just said that president had said that he could give out. In short, that person got 20 million naira.
Wow.
That person got 20 million naira. If I'm not mistaken, is that the person got 20 million naira, or there are two of them that got 10 apiece?
Nigerians will be curious, just before Muplank asks the next question, criteria. When Nigerians, especially entrepreneurs, young entrepreneurs hear that they can have access to grants beyond aside loan, it just moves something in them. So what are the criteria, for someone to be eligible for that?
The criteria to be eligible for the MSME clinic loan is just be available
grant.
The grant, sorry, just be available at the grants, at the when we are doing the clinic. So if you are one of the exhibitors at the clinic, and we find you worthy of, for instance, if I come in and I'm exhibiting something that is not, it's generic, it's just generic. I mean, most likely you know. But if you come into the MSME clinic grants, and there's no clinic that MSMEs have ever had to pay to attend, because I think the state government facilitates the stalls and ensure that they don't pay.
Yeah.
So what is that? Once you're on the ground, and during the exhibition with His Excellency, the Vice President, the Governor of that state, and the different maybe Minister Eno in this case is also a huge partner. That's the Minister of Industry. Excuse me, the Minister of Industry, and the other agency heads. So once you are identified as someone to be given a grant, it's given to you. You don't need this. You don't need anything. The criteria is just being on the ground and exhibiting what you are doing.
And have faith.
And have faith.
Yes, have faith.
And have faith. In all honesty, you're almost guaranteed.
That brings us to the issue of awareness I talked about.
Yeah.
Because how many people will be aware that something is taking place for them to be available, like you said?
Madam, I assure you that when we go into the clinics, the MSMEs are more aware than some of the government people.
Wow.
They start calling us, where is the venue? Because the sensitization is usually very huge.
Okay.
And aside from the state government that we inform, that we plan the programs together, the next bunch of stakeholders are the MSMEs. So we discuss all their different clusters, all the different Msmes, for instance, are always involved in everything we do. They are part of it. So they spread the word to their partners that this day, please come prepared, make sure that you get a booth, make sure that you've prepared your goods to exhibit. There will be a grant, you might be selected, and the money is given. Anybody has never been told at any point in time that, oh, you have been selected for grants, and they come and say that we never received it, because we do not even use third party. Once a list is generated for those that will be given the grants, we give it to our, and they collect their details, the details of the MSMEs directly, and give it to them directly, and we now send the list to the state government to say, these are the list of the SMEs that have been paid in your state. Okay,
so since Muplank is very key about the awareness, which is very critical, I'd like to know, the facility, is it open 24/7, like daily? Is it a daily services it's offers, or there's a particular period of time it's open so that people can come showcase, or exhibit whatever they have?
Okay, yeah, makes sense. I guess facilities are stationed. These are they are buildings that they are buildings that will facilitate through the presidency and the government.
Okay.
So that's different from the MSME clinic.
Okay.
Excuse me. The MSME clinic is just, for instance, it is the bedrock under which you find all these different pillars.
Okay.
Different pillars. For instance, the facilities are open from 9 o'clock every day to about 5 o'clock. And in some states, they even open weekends. So it all depends on the state's facility. But the states do not run these facilities. We give them to private sector to run. Because for these facilities to be able to function, It must be run as a business. You know, we must run it as a business, basically. So we'll give it to private sector. Why state government and federal governments are on the board just ensuring that everything is okay.
You know why I asked that question, and the aspect of where these entrepreneurs get to showcase and get opportunity to be offered a grant. At what point does this usually happen? Is it a one-off thing in a state or?
Okay.
Okay.
MSMEs in their different states, you know, operate in whichever manner that they operate. We just tell them that there's an MSME clinic coming.
Okay.
Now, this MSME clinic is happening in your state at this so and so time.
Okay.
Please be there.
Okay.
And we tell the state governments, our MSMEs are very critical. They need to be there, you know, and that's it. We use the clinic to pass out all sorts of very cogent MSME related information, like the MSME grant that President approved, that Bank of Industry was handling, and the loan facilities. The grant was handled by Msmes. The loan facility was initially 1 million naira to an SME. But by the time the BOI started with the sensitization and talking to the MSMEs and realizing that a lot more MSMEs even needed a lot more in single obligo, Mr. President graciously approved it to 5 million naira per obligo. And going for that, when the Bank of Industry realized that not too many people were collecting these 5 million naira, they now organized on their own a series of sensitization to say, you applied, this is the condition, this is why you did not, this is why you were not approved. So do you want us to go back? Okay, this is what you need to do to get approved. So and we commended them for that, because some people don't mind that people applied and they were not approved. They just chuck it by one side. But a lot of the people that were not approved, the management thought it wise to say, why were these people not approved? And some of them is little information. This is all you needed to do for your approval to be green. So you've missed out this information. This is what you need to add. And that series was very, very, very good. We did the one for the entire North last year, and we'll be embarking, and I believe that they will handle the other one this year.
Okay.
Yeah, so I want to talk about the African Union Forum, moving away from Nigeria only. So you coordinated the AU MSME Forum in 2025. So beyond the communiques and the conversations, what type of opportunities and partnerships did Nigerian MSMEs go into, and what do you expect to see from that forum in this year, 2026?
Now, during that our 1 week MSME Forum week with the AU, which was the first of its kind anyway, between Nigeria and African Union, we discussed support for small businesses, guarantees. So we're expecting, and that discussion is ongoing. We're expecting we're discussing some funding support to guarantee small businesses. You know, we have started it locally, the de-risking fund, where states are able to, a state brings between $1 billion and $2 billion. Our partner brings the same amount. They both agree that we are going to give out this loan to SMEs in my state at this percent, no more than 9%, in some cases no more than 11%. Because so that's what we have been doing. States, most of the, well, I know that Cross River just did one.
Okay.
Lagos State did 10 billion at a go. Imo State governor is willing to do almost the same, if not more. Basically, so what we are now beginning to do is urge state governments saying that, bring part of your own funds. We will bring partners. We'll bring the likes of maybe Bank of Industry, maybe it's Access Bank, Wema Bank, all our partners. We'll bring them to the table, and they will match whatever it is that you have brought. You cannot instruct them. SMEs in my state, give them, anyone that you have identified as being qualified to collect, give them this loan at no more than this percent. That can help SMEs in your state. Back to the African Union. Those are the kind of discussions we are having with them, basically. And don't forget that during the MSME Awards, during the MSME Week, they also gave out a lot of grants in USD to small businesses. And lastly, one of the things that that we agree that will be done is that when there are exhibitions across the world and the continent, Nigeria small businesses are also going to be a key part of that as well. So they let us know, and with NEPC and other and Smedan, we give them a list of small businesses that in some cases they might support with flights and other things, or we will handle that.
Okay, Mr. Johnson, Muplank, we have to take a break. We'll be back to pick up with the conversation. Do stay tuned.
What are we doing as a nation to first of all settle our teeming populace, especially the
NTA's political package with a third eye on the nation's political scene? I am Fisa Ogunfuyi. Welcome.
You have to be very careful giving space to people who are obviously sponsored to further the agenda of some other groups.
There's a lot of questions. A lot of questions in a closed door sessions. Some of these issues, some of the problems bedeviling of their.
In fact, between June 1st and July 17, 19-point-something billion has left the coffers of the NDDC.
I can say my constituency, they need everything because we don't have anything.
A method for digital literacy is a bot that you can use, you can interact to learn more about digital literacy.
Hello, it's our pleasure to have you join us on platform. I'm Ruth Aguwele.
What is the yardstick for measuring everybody's moral integrity? It's critical at this point in time.
How daunting has that been for the Institute in getting them abreast with all the legislative procedures?
The fact remains that one training workshop is not enough.
Thank you for staying tuned. The conversation is on federal government intervention for MSMEs and, of course, promoting job creation. We have the special advisor to the president on MSMEs and job creation. Muplank, you were going to ask a question.
Yes, I just wanted to do a follow-up on what he was talking about. You mentioned the Nigerian Export Promotion Council. So I wanted to know if there are opportunities for exports for our MSMEs following the AU forum, being that other African countries are involved.
Perfect question, madam. Yes, they are. Okay. They are, and with the NEPC, the current leadership is very, very, and the Minister of Trade, Dr. Jumoke Oduwole, has been very passionate about this, and she's been very passionate about it in ensuring that the key agency responsible for that, the NEPC, follows through. So I know that they have off-takers across the world that they link small businesses in Nigeria to. So, for instance, you are so good at a certain trade and you want to start exporting, you are not too sure which market to go to. You are not too sure, or maybe you have identified a market, you've identified where you want to sell to, whichever country, or where you want to export to, and you're not too sure of the character of these people. So you go to the NEPC, they'll tell you that, oh, we've dealt with them, this company, we've dealt with them since so and so, this is what they are, this is what they've been doing. They are good to go, we can guarantee that you can deal with them, basically. You raised the issue of job creation, and I'm going to tie the issue of job creation to those facilities that I was mentioning. I mentioned a few states earlier on. We mentioned that in Kebbi, they also have a food processing plant in Kebbi.
Okay.
In Kogi, there are fashion plants in Kogi. There are fashion facility. In Borno State, they have a huge fashion facility. Then, our private sector partner, Burma Bank, built another facility not too far from the. They built a bank, their own branch, very close to the facility, and ensured that most of the people that were employed are from the region, are from that state. Basically, Delta State has fashion facility that were built. Ekiti has fashion ICT that has been built in Ekiti. Ondo State, we are currently working on something for them.
Okay, it's good you're mentioning fashion, because when we hear fashion, what comes to mind is women, right? So I want us to talk about the way these facilities have helped promote economic inclusion, especially for women. Are women in rural communities benefiting from this initiative? Before now, we know majority lack visibility. So has the initiative in any way given them this visibility?
Well, we tend not to see when we create any scheme. We are very deliberate in saying everyone, woman, man, and those living with disability, everyone. You know, I personally feel that when we don't limit women, and if you notice that most of the facilities that have been calling, they have been more fashion, and it's because women. I think there are more women into fashion than men, basically. So that is why they are the ones that have been craving for it. Let me tell you one thing that the women food have actually asked for as well. Is they've asked for this what do you call it now? Cosmetic and makeup.
Okay.
Yes. So they've asked for this cosmetic facilities. You know, because I had a certain experience, and I keep saying this, you know, without sounding like a broken record. Even just this December, my family, this December.
The past December?
Yes. This.
I know it will take take time to acclimatize.
Just last December, while getting ready for an Owambe, my wife brought in somebody that did makeup. The lady did makeup, so I came in. She was my wife, I think her sister, and a few other people. They did makeup. Very light, so I just asked the lady. But once I started asking questions, my wife, she looked at me, she knew that I was already working. The woman charged them, because she came to come and do this, she charged them 75,000 naira.
Wow.
There were 6 of them. 75,000 naira. And she said that the time she had there was 2 hours with them. She had another job somewhere else. So she charged them, madam, I don't know if you are doing the maths.
Yes.
She charged them that amount, 6 of them. She was going somewhere else to do. And I asked her, is this how business booms? She says, if I had a car, I would do at least 3 work today and tomorrow. She says, from Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So I dedicated to this. I also have my regular job. She's a banker.
Wow.
She's a banker. She says she's a banker. She has a regular job, but from Friday evening when she closes, she starts booking people. So all through Saturday, Sunday, this woman makes almost 2 million naira, if not more, every weekend.
Wow.
Every
From
weekend.
makeup.
From makeup.
Muplank is the spirit of God talking to you.
So what we have not done is that we have identified that space, and we are willing to, in 2026, we are willing to do a lot more to support them in that space. We are currently speaking to some of the high-end people in that space. And also, we are not just speaking to the high-end, we are speaking to some of the MSMEs as well to see how we can further support young ladies in that
Especially
regard.
in rural communities. That was the emphasis.
So what you must understand is that all our schemes are tailored towards supporting both men and women. In some cases, or in most cases, in this instance, we have done more for ladies than we have done for men, because we have done more. If I say we have done 21 facilities, I bet you, by the time I read out everything, we'll have done at least 11 fashion. And that's because it is based on the ladies coming to ask that we want fashion in this place, we want fashion in this place.
Like taking it to the communities.
And taking it to the community. I said, this year, 2026, we are going to further engage in this cosmetic thing. And not just that. You see, even those that tie gele, they come and tie your gele. I didn't even know that was something major.
Yes,
when somebody come and tie your gele and they get paid a lot of money for it.
5,000, 10,000.
Madam, you're talking
More
about
than
5,000. No.
50,000.
For
they
tying
came to
gele.
tie gele
Yes,
for
depending
the
on who
bride.
is tying your gele.
Exactly.
Exactly.
They came to tie gele for the bride. It not 5,000, 10,000 that they collected. They tied for the bride, they tied for the bride's mother, they tied for the bride's chief bridesmaid, and she tied for all of this thing. So that's another craft.
Yes.
So there's also profit in being able to use your hands. So this year, 2026, we are going to focus a lot in that space.
And it's good that I'm saving costs by knowing how to tie my own gele. Muplan, go ahead.
Okay, so I want us to talk about this de-risking fund. I'm interested in it. Can you tell us more about it, how it works, and how MSMEs can, benefit from it in this year, 2026?
Okay, so we realized in 2025 that the federal government alone, whilst we want to support everybody, whilst we want to do everything, we cannot do everything at the same time. We cannot support everyone at the same time. So one key thing is that every state has MSMEs. In short, the MSMEs are domiciled in all the states anyway. Yeah. So we started engaging the state governors. And honestly, we started engaging the state governors and we got positive results. Most of the governors, we started telling them that, Excellencies, how about you set aside XYZ fund from your state? We'll get you a partner that will match this. And most of the governors agreed to do that. And they're seeing the results. Because SMEs in their states are collecting facilities at not more than between 9 and 11%. For a long tenure of maybe 3 years.
So does it mean that the de-risking fund has kicked off?
Oh, yeah, it's kicked off. It has. We didn't need, you see, it is not every scheme that you need an elaborate opening or something like that. Once we spoke to the governors, some of them just, after they just started this thing on their own. Okay, they looked at it, and you see, once a governor sees that if it's going to cost me 2 billion, what sort of value am I getting for 2 billion? Once they weigh it and they see the colossal value, the colossal positive value that they will get from it. So it has kicked off. Most of the states, after engaging, we're just monitoring what it has engaged, what it has not. By mid-year, we're going to be bringing out a report on the states that have engaged, the impact. Basically, the states that have not engaged, where they are in terms of status, whether they're already engaging or not.
Okay, so let's get back to job creation, and this time around the aspect of digital skills. We saw in the outgone year, the federal government demonstrated commitment in promoting digital skills among young people because of the attention on digital economy. Now, going forward, what areas of concern will be done in that aspect to upskill interventions in, engaging more young people into digital skills, to build more bridges for sustainable development?
When you talk about digital skills, linking it with job creation, I think I must give kudos to the Minister of Digital Economy, Mr. Bosun Tijani. He's done a lot. In short, we are in constant touch. We're in constant touch because we have strategic partnerships. So should his ministry want to do a certain thing regarding the SMEs, he reaches out to some of us in the SME space as well. Now, from our own side, change is one of the key things in life. And we keep telling MSMEs that you can work smarter, and make more money. Exactly. You understand? By opening your mind to innovation. You can have an app that will tell you daily what you have done as business. And that app will also tell you that if you have done 200,000 naira today, you've made 37,000 naira as profit. This is what has gone through sales. And this is what you said we should be setting aside every day for the business to service the business. So day in, day out, this is what you have done. We are trying to make business for small businesses now. We are trying to make sure that it is something of is fun for them, and we're trying to make sure that they do their business with relative ease. So we are supporting them with a lot of innovative ideas, in partnership with the digital economy. And aside from that, we also as as within the SME ecosystem, are also reaching out to others that can build their innovative capacities. You have to think of a way to balance, because the fear of most of the MSMEs with regards innovation and digitalization is, I think, that it will lead to job loss. So you must continuously address that fear, that you can be innovative without losing job. You can just have more technical hands to help you handle those things. The world is moving, and you must move with the world. I remember when B2 was the in thing. If you didn't have B2, if you didn't used to have B2.
You mean the car?
Yes.
Okay.
I remember when B2 was the in thing. B2 that time, if you had B2, you have from people would look at you as great. Or there was a time, I think there was a car called V-Boot. So we have all sorts of things now, basically. So you have to move with the time, basically.
What about automobile skills? Are there prospects this year that the facility will provide young people that access to have,
I think the leadership of the automotive council, I think they are doing very well.
Okay.
I think their focus is to try and get more Nigerians involved in developing local automobiles.
Yes, which is also a skill.
And the ones that are already developing, they are trying to ensure that they support their industry. So, and that's the way to go. I believe that this year, 2026, will avail them an opportunity to do even a lot more than they've done.
So you're going to key them into the project?
Oh, yeah. No, when we see SMEs that are interested in those areas, we send them to them.
Okay.
We push them to the Automotive Council. We say, we have this. There's a guy, maybe if we have not forgotten, there's a guy called Jerry Malo. He's from Plateau State.
Yeah.
He came for the MSME clinic in 2027. I think he was
2027.
In 2017. Look at this. He came for the MSME clinic in 2017, April 2017. I think April 4th, 2017. This guy built a tractor. He's gone to build several cars. The governor then, Governor Lalong, we took on this guy and made sure that we promoted him to the highest height. The governor gave him a land so he can manufacture and further develop his skills, basically. So someone like that, Automotive Council may want to even look at him as well.
So you make recommendations?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
We'll make recommendations.
Okay.
Talking about automobiles, another thing is CNG. Is there anything you're doing for CNG conversion and so on for MSMEs who are interested in going into that line of business? Is there anything you have, maybe partnerships?
Oh, yes, we do have. Okay. We are in direct partnership with the CNG team.
Okay.
We know the chairman. Is someone who wants to do a lot of things, and he wants to do a lot of things. He wants to do them uniquely and quickly. He's someone that doesn't like to waste time just talking. So I know a number of people in the CNG team who are working. I know they're already working with Smeden. So we are also working with them to build them capacity. It's one government, so we work along the same value chain to ensure that we generate get results.
It's good there's a synergy along all divide. So on a final note, before we let you go, Mr. Johnson, what hope are you giving Nigerians, especially MSMEs, this year, 2026, going forward on what to expect in that sector?
There's a time to run. There's a time
to hold on.
There's a time. And it's one thing, the most important thing in that song is it tells you, it discourages you from counting your profit, what you have made on the table. Because when you count it, most times you come back. You say you have more than enough time to count what you have made once you have left that place. So for us now, we have gambled, we have held on. This 2026 is a time to start counting what have we done. Yeah. What has we done? Like Minister Wike will say, he says, everybody show your results. So this is the time to start counting out what have we done. And within the SME space, we'll continue to encourage MSMEs to to continue to believe in the renewed hope agenda of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. This year, we will make sure that there's access to funding for a lot more SMEs, with what the likes of
and access to information.
Yes, access to funding, access to information, and access to use of world-class equipment for SMEs to ensure that their businesses are thriving. We'll try as much as possible to ensure that a lot more SMEs can collect facilities from the bank and use it for their businesses. You know, without the rigor of asking for too many things, basically. But you know, when it comes to loans, you would need a form of subtle collateral. We'll try and ensure that we speak to the agencies involved and some of our partners to ensure that to make sure that it is not burdensome. It's not a key. It's not a major burden for them to collect facilities, which is very, very important to their businesses.
Indeed. I want to thank you, Mr. Temitola Adekunle Johnson. Thank you so much for enlightening Nigerians, you know, giving them access to the information that, yes, the federal government is doing its part in terms of interventions for MSMEs. Thank you so much for coming on platform.
Thank you very much, madam.
All right, he's a special advisor to the president on job creation and MSMEs. Muplang Dakok,
yes,
I hope you have new business ideas this year.
Of course, makeup is one of them.
All right, thank you.
Always a pleasure.
Always a pleasure to have you on platform.
Thank you.
So the conversation has been on federal government's interventions for MSMEs and, of course, job creation. So if you are into that, if you're in that sector, rather, why not position yourself? They say preparedness meets opportunity. There are a lot of advantages, and it's the era where the hope will be more rekindled. So let's keep hope alive. Thank you for being part of it. I'm Ruth Aguele.